Here to discuss is House Minority Whip, Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise. As you try to stand your state back up and making great progress with your Democratic governor, I'm sure you've been looking at the Flynn case. What sticks out with you most that is the biggest surprise with these 2 days of revelations?
Well, Brian, the thing that sticks out the most is that the FBI was getting ready to close the case, and then Peter Strzok came in, and we all know his motivations. He was a strong anti-Trumper. He had motivations against Donald Trump, not as a cop trying to find out facts. And he went and pushed to keep this thing going because it turned out, you saw Strzok and Page, both who were dirty cops from the beginning, were trying to get Flynn to entrap himself. It looks like they were literally trying to set a trap for him, as they say, they wanted him to either lie so that they could get him fired or get him indicted. I mean, they had a motivation against Trump and against Flynn, even though the evidence didn't show that they should move forward. He's the one who pushed to do it anyway because he had anti-Trump motivations. That's not the kind of person you want with a badge. That's what the definition of dirty cop is all about. I want the Attorney General to look into this, and frankly, people ought to go to jail, and he would be at the top of the list.
Yeah, they got to pick up the pace if they want to do it during the president's first term. If he gets a second term, because we're running out of time to actually get answers on this. Michael Flynn, this is in the Washington Post today. Michael Flynn, was not entrapped. He says he's a military leader who rose to lieutenant general, led troops in combat. How could it be intimidated by 2 FBI agents? What's your response to that?
Well, it's not that he was intimidated. It's that he was set up. I mean, my goodness, when you've got FBI agents on record, I mean, you've seen some of the documents already. Oh, and by the way, remember, it was Strzok and Page who were going back and forth during the presidential election saying, hey, they were setting up an insurance policy to stop Donald Trump from getting elected president. When you've got FBI agents trying to plot against a candidate for president of the United States, that should disturb everybody, Republican and Democrat and Independent alike. They're dirty cops, and they ought to be held accountable and go to jail.
Right. Meanwhile, instead of that, they're getting book deals and TV contracts. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi, the speaker who you look up to, floats almost has an idea for a Rescue 4 package. We need at least $1 trillion. We all know where every state is hurting. Should we write more checks on money we don't have on an account that's empty?
Well, did she forget that Congress literally just sent out $150 billion to states just last week? Most of these states just got the money, haven't even started spending it yet, and she's talking about giving them more money. For goodness sake, I mean, they're trillions of dollars out the door. We're trying to help families and small businesses hang on right now, and it seems like the only states she's interested in helping are those states that had multi-billion-dollar deficits before COVID-19. We ought to be spending our time making sure that the trillions we sent out the door are being spent properly, and helping those small businesses stay afloat and those families stay afloat so that they can have jobs to come back to when we start opening the economy soon. And we need to start opening up the economy in a safer way as we're doing this right now.
And by the way, you guys don't have a plan to remote vote, and you're not in town. Your speaker said everyone go home. How are you guys not essential workers, and why aren't you back in Washington getting stuff done in this crisis?
Yeah, I've been very vocal when Speaker Pelosi canceled votes that we were going to have next week, that she shouldn't be afraid of bringing members back. We just went back to D.C. last week to vote on the next round of relief package for the Paycheck Protection Program. It went smooth. You didn't see major incidents. And again, the Senate's going to be in next week. Is there some reason why Nancy Pelosi doesn't think the House should be working as well? There's ways to do this safely. Congress, by the way, should be leading. Congress shouldn't be the last people to come back. We should be the first to come back safer, showing those safer proteocals and getting our job done.
Right.
And holding China accountable, too, by the way, Brian.
Yeah, that would help. We have been talking about that all morning. We got to be on the offensive and get our allies involved, too. Congressman Steve Scalise,
Congress
thanks
needs
so
to be
much.
having hearings right now and holding China accountable. Great to be with you. Thanks.
Yeah, you can't do that when everyone's at home.